Hello and welcome to Cosmic Consciousness with Kassia. On this channel we discuss all aspects of the ascension process. I have a variety of services that I offer to assist in your awakening journey, and you can find those listed in the description box below. So I wanted to hop on and do a reading for you guys. I am back. It's going to take some time for me to get my space put back together. It's been a bit of a wild ride this past week and a half, but I love you all so very, very much. And I really missed you, so I wanted to hop on. This isn't going to be a full daily reading. We're going to get into the energies a little bit. I will be doing the full moon consciousness raising and releasing ceremony tomorrow. I'm going to be doing it as a live on YouTube this time, just because I didn't get time to put out that full moon video, and I want everyone to be able to participate, and I'm just so happy to be back with you guys. I thought it would be great to be able to interact with you a little bit more. So I am going to be doing that. It's going to be a free live event. It's going to be, I'm planning on 6:30 p.m. EST, just like the Zoom event usually is. Donations will be welcome, of course, and you can donate during the live with the super chat, or you can utilize my links below, which are the preferred way, but I am very grateful either way if you feel so moved to donate for that. So hopefully some of you guys will join me for that tomorrow night. We are, of course, in the warm-up for the full moon right now. And if you look at Luna, she looks quite full. She looked quite full yesterday. So we're feeling those energies. We're in those energies. As we talked about, we're definitely feeling this full moon as sort of the closing, if you will, for lack of a better term, of that 8/8 portal energy that we really felt beginning with that first full moon in Aquarius. So moving through all of those degrees of Aquarius and closing out at 29 degrees for that full moon, it has been quite a journey throughout this 8/8 portal, throughout this portal created by these two full moons in Aquarius. And yeah, so I say we're feeling this energy now, but we've been feeling this energy, and it's intense. It's a big energy. So we're going to talk about the energy of the full moon during the live, during the full moon ceremony on YouTube tomorrow evening, Eastern Standard Time, 6:30 p.m. Just taking a moment to center, taking a moment to be here with you guys. There's a lot going on right now in the galactic calendar. I will be doing a video in the next couple days for the yellow magnetic star wave spell, which began on the 19th. And this wave spell is all about creation. It's about beauty. It's about bringing beauty to life, noticing and recognizing the beauty all around you, noticing and recognizing your own beauty. And it's also an energy that really calls us to embrace our star-seeded nature. So a really beautiful wave spell that we have entered and that we will be in the midst of during this full moon. Today's galactic signature is the white electric dog. And so this is guided by timelessness and ruled by the solar plexus chakra. And this energy is really beautiful because it's all about that heart. It's all about that love, our companions of destiny, the ways that we know and experience and come to understand love, primarily through relationship. It's also about that love of self and the understanding that the more deeply we love ourselves, the more deeply and purely we're able to love others. And so today I'm really feeling that energy of embracing the purity of love, the purity of the heart, and just really exuding that energy everywhere that we go, being grateful for the companions of destiny that we have in our lives, being appreciative of the connections that we have with other people and all the different expressions of love and all of its varied forms that we've gotten to experience, even the painful ones, because those are sometimes the experiences that help us to grow the most and teach us the most about ourselves and what is ready to be healed. And it's also this understanding we want to carry with us today, that if somebody is acting out of a place of anger, acting out of a place of these lower vibratory energies, right, that is simply a cry for love. It is simply a lack of love. And so what do we do when we experience these people? We love them even harder. And this is how we shift the energy of this planet. It's also very beautiful because this white dog energy today is kicking off the white northern dog season of the heart. And so this is a set of 4 65-day seasons that we have throughout the galactic calendar. And this energy of the white northern dog season of the heart relates to the emotional self. So really stepping more deeply into that emotional self as we move into this season. Embracing those emotional connections with others, embracing that heart-centered connection and that heart-centered communication as we move through our day today. So we're going to just start pulling some cards. We're going to start pulling some cards and see what they have to say. And we're going to start, actually I was going to start with tarot, but the Keepers of the Light deck wants to come out. So we're going to start with some of these. All right, here. What guidance do you have for us today? This beautiful, beautiful white dog day. This eve of the full moon in Aquarius. What guidance? Ascended Masters, Keepers of the Light, what guidance do you have for us? What do you want us to know? We're receiving a major mental activation with this final full moon, and we'll talk more about that tomorrow. As we have Mercury and Mars conjunct opposing Neptune, conjunct Pallas. We also have the moon in Aquarius, of course, as we said, conjunct Jupiter. So that's a really beautiful, expansive energy. And Uranus, which is the ruler of this moon, being Aquarius, is very active as well. So there's a lot of evolution happening right now. Evolution of the mind, the power of our minds, really stepping into a more empowered mental space. And of course, emotional space as well. And yes, we got that beautiful white dog energy coming out with Kuan Yin, care and compassion. Choose to be loved, do what's right for everyone involved, offer a helping hand. And we also have Hilarion, divine healing. Honor your sensitivity, retreat to recharge and heal. Your light can support others. And I'm really being drawn to the emerald, which is a Merkaba in the center of his chest there. So there's a lot of this compassion that we're being called to utilize and tap into today. And there's a lot about service. And this is really appropriate as we not just move through this portal, which does have, we'll call it a portal. This full moon, this end to this portal here, which does have quite a bit of Virgo energy attached to it too. What with the activity of Mercury and Mars being in the sign of Virgo, the fact that the sun shifts into Virgo the day after the full moon, there's a lot of that energy, and we're going to be feeling that energy during the 7/7 portal as well. This energy of service. So this is something that we're all probably thinking about, that's coming into our mental body, our emotional body, our understanding, this deeper desire to be of service. And I'm noticing all the light language that's surrounding him. I don't know if you guys can see that. So this feels like activation too. This definitely feels like activation. Receiving activations. And this is right in line, right? We're closing up that 8/8 portal energy. So these activations that we've received that allow us to be more deeply of service, that allow us to step into our path of service and really beginning to see and understand how we can utilize those. And we're being called to utilize those. And there's a lot of it's connected to the heart. That's why I'm being drawn to this. It's connected to the heart. It's related through the heart. And I know a lot of people have been working with light language lately and receiving activations around that. But it's like whatever the activations are, they're coming through your heart chakra. They're expressed through your connection to your heart chakra, which is expanding right now. And they're really allowing you to be of deeper service to humanity. So whatever is coming through for you, whatever gifts you may have noticed, amplified or coming in or developing more deeply during this 8/8 portal energy, just know that you are meant to use those. Those were divine gifts. And I'm reminded of something my friend Kayla says all the time, which is the reason we call them gifts is because they don't belong to us. They are gifts from spirit, and they are gifted to us for the purpose of this greater service, this care and compassion. There's also a lot of deep personal healing that's going on for us right now. And that's why, even though we are being called more deeply into service, like, we may feel the need to retreat and recharge right now. We're very sensitive. When we're being activated, when our vibration is shifting and rising, our sensitivity increases. And so if you are feeling more sensitive, absolutely take that time that you need. Shield and shelter your energy, nourish yourself, give yourself that care and compassion as well. Just pay attention to what it is that you need right now. But it's really this deep emotional activation that we're receiving that is allowing us to tap more deeply into our heart center. We're being asked to honor it. We're being asked to honor our sensitivity and our emotionality as a gift. Because it is a gift. One of the most unique things about this dimension, about Earth, is the fact that we get to feel here. We have emotion. We don't have emotion in every dimension, not like we do here on Earth. That's part of the experience. That's part of the reason that we come here, aside from the complete forgetting and the fun challenge of that, right? Super fun. But it's that energy of really embracing and being grateful for every single emotion that we experience. The ones that we deem good and the ones that we deem bad, and to really begin to shed that association where we determine whether something is good or bad. It's all good. It's all a gift. And we came here to feel it all. We came here to experience it all. Yeah, let's see what else wants to come out here. Joan of Arc, voice of truth. Stand strong, focus on your purpose, release the fear of persecution, and speak your truth. This is Aquarius energy right here. And this is really a major, major theme that's been coming through. Is this call to purpose for light workers, for starseeds, for whatever, the 144,000, whatever labels we might take on to understand ourselves better, right? To understand that which is beyond understanding. Is this call to purpose and this call to speak our truth. The call to share what we know. Even if it's uncomfortable. Even if it makes us less popular. This is, you notice she's in her armor. She's ready for battle. And so things are heating up on this planet right now. And we came here, we are spiritual warriors. And our weapon is love, right? However, like, we're being asked to utilize that. We're being asked to, love doesn't mean that we just accept things the way they are and we just passively stand by and watch our planet be destroyed. That's not love. Love is when we stand up for what it is that's true. It's reminding me of that card in the Sacred Rebels deck, right? Defend to the end the worthwhile. So what is worthwhile? What is meaningful to you? What do you know? And are you willing to speak on that? Are you willing to share that? Are you willing to voice that? We're all being asked to do that. Awareness. Nothing can shift without awareness. The first step to helping the collective to ascend is making them aware. So how can you help bring awareness into another's life today? How can you bring more awareness into your own life? How can you find those little opportunities to speak your truth and begin practicing that? And then we have Master Jesus coming out with Archangel Michael. There's a powerful duo right there. There's two of my homies right there. Jesus and Archangel Michael. I love it. Yes. Forgiveness and trusting heaven. Yeah, you are on the path of light, love, and forgiveness. You are safe. Angels stand close. Surrender your concerns and allow a miracle to occur. They are saying, and you noticed how we've got Joan of Arc and Archangel Michael, and they've both got their They're swords, right? The sword of truth. That which cuts through illusion. That which cuts through attachment. Yeah. So we have so much support coming in for us. So much support. There are miracles underway. There are miracles in the works. And this has been an exercise over this past, since that first full moon in Aquarius, really, a deep exercise in trust, in faith, in trusting the unknown, trusting the unseen, trusting that even when it looks as though we are not being supported, we are. So this is that energy of knowing that we're safe. There's a lot of us, right? Part of the reason we don't speak our truth, part of the reason we don't utilize our gifts is because of the memories, the Akashic records, the memories stored there, the memories stored in our cellular memory of the times when that didn't go so well. And so Archangel Michael and Master Jesus are coming through, and Joan of Arc, right? And they are saying, you are safe, you are protected, you are held. We are working overtime for you guys in the non-physical. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to speak. Don't be afraid to share. Don't be afraid to stand up for what is in your heart. But do it with love. Do it with compassion. Do it with forgiveness. Right? Jesus was a master of forgiveness. Because he was a master of unconditional love. Well, I say was, he still is. Right? But in his human incarnation as well. Think about the story of Jesus. Think about what happened to him. And yet still he forgave. Still he held love and compassion in his heart. He did what he did knowing what was going to happen. But he did it anyway because he knew that it was the right thing. He knew that that was what he was put here to do. He was put here to teach people, to show people the way, to show people the light, to show people how to live these principles, right? He taught forgiveness by exemplifying forgiveness. He taught unconditional love by exemplifying unconditional love. He taught miracles by exemplifying miracles. And so, and above all else, he taught everything that I can do, you can do too. And so we don't have to make the kind of sacrifice that he made in that lifetime. We don't live in those ages anymore. It's much safer for us to come out and speak about magic and speak about the truth of what we see, of what's going on. And yes, there are still things that could happen, right? Mostly censorship is what we have to worry about. There are other things depending on, we're not going to get into all of that. But I will say that we understand, right? As spiritual warriors, as spiritual badasses, we understand that we are eternal beings. This incarnation is only temporary. We are all, every single one of you watching this channel, you were put here to help raise the frequency and the vibration of the planet. Right? You have a mission here. You have a purpose. You will be here as long as you need to be to fulfill that purpose. And that's why I don't worry. I know that I'm going to be here as long as I need to be to do that. And I know that when I'm no longer here, when I transition from this particular incarnation, this Kassia identity, like we use the word transition because I continue to be. I will always be. We will always be. And when we know that, sometimes we can fear a little less. But we want to keep this in mind as we are speaking our truth, as we are putting on our armor, right? As we are sheathing up our sword. So just metaphorically speaking, right? We need to know and we need to remember that we are on the path of light, love, and forgiveness. And that doesn't mean people pleasing. That doesn't mean being afraid to be authentic, to speak our truth. Remember, full moon in Aquarius energy, we're cusping on right now. We've been in really since the first full moon. And we're in the age of Aquarius. So this Aquarius energy is just coming at us from all angles. We are very much in the midst of it, all right? So that is an energy of truth. but it's also an energy of love. And so really remembering that. But remembering that love doesn't mean, it's like if you think about a relationship, and this is a good example since we are in this white dog energy today as well, which is very much about relationship. There's codependency and there's interdependency. Codependency isn't real love. Codependency is based on need. It's based on desire. It's based on want. It's based on lack. Right? A fear of what's going to happen if the other person leaves. Interdependency is when two autonomous and sovereign beings come together and cooperate in order to create something greater than their single parts. It's about wanting each other and knowing that they make each other better instead of needing each other in order to be okay. So it's that sort of energy. And why was I talking about that? Trying to remember where I was going with that. Oh yeah, real love, right? And so if somebody that you love is doing something that is detrimental to them, or if they're doing something that's hurtful to you, the codependent energy would be to just keep quiet. The real love would be to speak and to let them know what you see, to let them know what's going on, to let them know you're concerned, to let them know that you're hurt, so that you can move through that energy. That's real love. And so that's the energy when we're talking about, that's an example to sort of exemplify kind of like what that means. Like true love is fierce. It is passionate. Well, no, I mean, I don't want to say that because love is lots of different things. But you guys know what I mean. It's that energy of knowing that you can be fierce and passionate, and you can be fiercely loving and fiercely passionate. But you don't have to dumb yourself down. You don't have to take the fire out, take the wind out of your sails in order to be loving. We don't have to let people walk all over us. That's not love. Yeah. But we are all so safe and so held right now. And with this father healing energy, I'm definitely feeling a healing of masculine energy. Our relationship to masculine energy. That may be a focus, or that may be something today. We're learning how to combine the feminine and the masculine energy, right? The feminine energy is what brings in that softness, that brings in that compassion. But the masculine energy is what also makes that firm. So that's the action that allows us to speak that truth, that allows us to walk that truth. That's a big energy. It's that energy of walking your talk. That's what we're being called to do right now. Walk your talk. And then we have Serapis Bey Ascension coming through. Serapis Bey comes through a lot. He really wants to work with us, with many of you. And this is all about moving into the true self and rising above the darkness. The light is here. All else is illusion. Everything is light. So really just everything we were talking about, moving into your true self. Seeing through the illusion to truth. All right. I'm going to pull a Sacred Rebels card to close for you guys. For us, really. And look what's on the bottom of the deck. Clear. Closing guidance for today. And I have a feeling that card's going to stay on the bottom of the deck as we continue to shuffle or come out. But it may not. It may have just wanted to let us know it was here. Oh, wow. Wow. Okay. We got cards jumping out everywhere. What do we have here? We have new birth guarded vigilantly. So this is all about this beginning energy we talked about. These activations that we are receiving right now. All right. And so as this new seed has been planted, as we are shifting, as we are changing, as we are beginning this creation process, we want to be very careful. We want to take a lot of care. Because when something is in those first stages of growth, it can be very vulnerable. So we want to ensure that we are protecting ourselves, we are nurturing ourselves, we are only allowing energies around us that protect us and nurture us. And whatever this dream is that we're growing, whatever it is that we're cultivating, we only want to share that with people who will respect and honor that. We have released the dark wound, let love live. And this is definitely energy we've been going through. So much purging energy, you guys. So much purging energy. And then we have restore and replenish. Just like we were talking about. Retreat to recharge and heal. I'm going to read Release the Dark Wound, Let Love Live, if I can find my book here. If we detach something from its source too soon, trying to force it to become what it is not yet ready or willing to become, we can unintentionally sap it of its strength and kill it. There is a dark wound in the consciousness of humanity which demands perfection and denies process. If you are thinking of publishers before you have even written the book, if you are comparing your unfinished song idea to the latest best-selling pop release, if you have decided you are not good enough or worthy enough to succeed before you've given it everything you've got and asked for divine help, then this dark wound has you in its grasp. You have to let go of the death grip of perfectionism and let yourself and your ideas live. Love is abundant, creative, and inspiring. It moves us so much more joyously and creatively than fear. You are being asked to honor the path of your own love. What inspires you, what feels exciting, joyful, and perhaps even rather different. Let that live. Releasing the dark wound of false belief, or release the dark wounding of false belief. There are countless stories of vastly successful artists who are very nearly binned the project that was the making of their career because of the despair fostered by their own dark nature. They doubted. They were uncertain. Was their work any good? Was it useless? They struggled to believe in the right of a work to come to life, whether it was accepted, revered, or rejected by others, or not. They nearly lost their work to fear. Undoubtedly, there have been many times when this has actually happened and the work was not saved, not allowed to live. Do not let this happen to you. Whether something is meant to be a commercially oriented venture or a more personal creation for your own therapeutic healing, it must be allowed to be, without judgment, without criticism, even without premature evaluation. It must be allowed to be what it is, and only time, love, patience, and attention will reveal it. Oh my God, this is funny. So then it says, if you have drawn this card along with the Oracle of Defense to the End the Worthwhile, which we had on the bottom of the deck, or the Oracle of New Birth, guarded vigilantly, then the message above is amplified and you are asked to act on this immediately so that your path can continue under the protection and grace of wisdom. If you feel drawn to read the messages of one or both of these additional oracles, whether you have drawn the cards in this reading or not, trust your instincts, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So we are going to read, let's see, I'm just checking on my time here, you guys. If I can find Defend to the End the Worthwhile. I may not be able to find it now, but yes. Oh, yes, we have. Okay, so we're going to read this one too. Beneath the illusions, pretty as they may seem, you know what is real. Beneath the lies, sweet though they may sound, you know what is worthwhile. All that is genuinely and truly essential for the heart to throb with life is worthwhile. Anything that dulls it or suffocates its vibrant aliveness must be questioned, challenged, and more than likely cast aside. For the heart is our key to living an authentic life. What is there once that is compromised? Without its foundation of truth, we are to be forever lost in confusion, doubt, and despair. You are a sacred warrior, a defender of the heart. You have cried genuine tears of your own grief and also the grief of the world. You have raged at injustice and oppression in your own life and in the world. You have felt the need to protect the presence of love, for whilst it is exceptionally powerful, it can too easily be smothered under lies and fear. My crown is buzzing right now, you guys. The sacred warrior must not heed the dangerous voices that say, oh, stop being so sensitive. Stop making such a big deal out of things. Love is the biggest deal there is. What else is worth being so sensitive about? The sacred warrior is vigilant that the presence of love is not chipped away by fear, criticism, doubt, or untruths. Even if others find the unflinching honesty of your feelings difficult to handle, even if those feelings are expressed with gentleness and compassion, the sacred warrior honors the task of being more faithful to love than to anything else. This includes the fear of loss. Actually, it includes the fear of anything at all. This oracle brings guidance to honor even the smallest steps in your path of the sacred warrior. They are no less important than the more noticeable and dramatic actions on the path. One single misstep can begin a landslide of great devastation. Being vigilant with what is meaningful and what is truthful, even in the smallest and seemingly most insignificant ways, strengthens the sacred warrior and prevents darkness from gaining a stronghold from the inside. That darkness will be intelligent and sneaky. It will tell you that it doesn't matter, that this one time you can forget what you promised, that you are just one person and that you can't make a difference anyway. That darkness will lure you into sleepy ambivalence and dull your light, if you allow it to. The sacred warrior within will fight with love and honor to be true to what has meaning, and never ever allow it to be cast aside, even if it seems easier in the moment. The sacred warrior finds joy and humor in life to prevent the seriousness of the task from stifling the heart that just wants to live and be free. That joy brings strength to the warrior and an expanded, relaxed awareness that can sense the presence of fear, whether it is masked as anger, hate, or doubt, and immediately respond to it with fierce compassion. The sacred warrior will not allow fear to gain a stronghold within the heart. This oracle has special guidance for you. You're being asked to stay strong and stand your ground. This might be in a big emotional journey that feels like the fight of your life. It might be in a matter that does not seem to hold much importance. Perhaps, for example, you are contemplating an idea that you feel could be something, but those around you declare it as nothing. Too much, too impractical, too little, or too much. However, what is happening or soon will be happening is worthwhile. So hold tight. Ask for help through the healing process below. Stay true to the sacred warrior of love that you are and defend to the end all that is worthwhile. Yeah, so this is about that idea that's coming to fruition, that inspiration that's coming through. This feeling, this sense of your path, of what you're meant to do next, of what you're meant to create, of where you're meant to go, of the truth that you're meant to speak, of what it is that you're meant to stand for. And this is saying, don't discount that. Don't let the fear get a foothold in the heart. Don't allow that little voice inside of you to tell you that you're not good enough, to tell you that the gifts that are now emerging, that were gifted to you for the evolution of humanity, for the service of humanity, as well as for your own healing, are not worthwhile. Don't allow anyone or anything to tell you that what you feel and know in your heart is not true or worthwhile, because it is. And we are being called to express that. We are also being called to guard that vigilantly, to guard that hope, to guard that inspiration, to guard that love and compassion vigilantly. To really, really take care in everything that we do right now. To allow ourselves this healing process. To not give up. To not back down. To stand our ground. This is such a powerful message. This is such a powerful message. There is something very important that is being birthed in each and every single one of us right now. And you may not even know what that is yet, but you may sense it, you may feel it inside. And if that is true, then nourish that, protect that, guard that. That is sacred. And so think about a sacred space, think about a temple. Who would you allow into that sacred temple? Would you ask people to take their shoes off before they enter? How would you want that temple to be respected? Think about yourself. Think about your creative process, your whatever it is that is being created and birthed within you, whatever it is that you are feeling, that you are sensing within you. Think about and apply those same rules to that. Who do you let walk into that temple? Who do you give access to that energy? This is very, very important. It's very important that we come together, that we empower each other, that we support each other. Because I'm not going to lie to you, there are going to be intense times ahead. We think times have been intense so far, they're going to get more intense. And so we are going to have to guard this new life vigilantly. We are going to have to trust. We're going to have faith. We're going to have to support each other. We're going to have to do everything that we can to ensure that that fear does not get a foothold in our hearts. Every time we feel that fear creeping in, transmute that, alchemize that, send that back to the light. That's not yours. That's not who you are. That's not true. That is not truth. False evidence appearing real. That's what fear is. And so recognize that. Hold that awareness. Shift out of that energy. Shift back into your center. Okay, so incredibly, incredibly important right now. The illusions are going to be really, really working overtime to confuse us, to discourage us right now. And so we need to be on top of our game. We need to stand strong. And like I said, we need to support each other. All right, I love you guys so much. I hope that you enjoyed this reading. I will hopefully catch some of you on that full moon live tomorrow night. And of course, it will be available to everyone as a replay as well for those of you who want to join that later. All right, I love you guys so much. You are so beautiful. You are so strong. You are so powerful. Do not forget that. Do not let anyone or anything, least of all yourself, convince you otherwise. All right, I'll talk to you soon.